This is a case that we haven't dealt with, and it's because it's so unusual. I mean, it really is an unusual case.
Oh, hell. Y'all, True Crime Design. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. Down in the description, you'll find it tagged. Show them some love. This one literally says why Dee Dee Blanchard isn't the monster you think she is. Whoa. Let's dive in and see what's happening, y'all. Let's see what's happening. And TikTok, thank you for all the love. Thank you for the bears. Thanks for hitting the follow button. All the things. Let's go.
What we thought initially may be a victim turns out to be a suspect.
Thank you, Bex. Thank you.
Things are not always as they appear.
Friends
Ain't that the truth?
called police yesterday when they spotted this post on the Facebook page Dee Dee Blanchard shared
Oh, hell.
with her 19-year-old daughter, Gypsy Rose.
Maybe not,
Investigators say they found the mother violently murdered
Oh, Lord have mercy.
inside their home and Gypsy gone.
The sheriff isn't saying how she died, but has said her death was violent. Investigators continue searching for her daughter, 19-year-old Gypsy, through the night.
The stuff you see in the news is horrible and not true. You know that I love my mama, and you know that I would never hurt her.
Oh, hell. Cheryl, thank you.
What kind of mom was she?
Is that Sherry in the house? Sherry, long time no see. Good to see you, hon. Thanks for the rose and the beer.
Very protective.
Do you think she protected you?
No, not in certain ways, yes, in other ways, no. I think that
Oh my God.
she was very sick in her mind.
That what Dee Dee did to Gypsy was one of the most egregious forms of parental abuse you can imagine.
Because her mama was an insane, compulsive
Oh, that's that one lady.
liar.
What's that lady's name? Stella, thank you.
A lot of this information came to me.
What is this? Is this from? Oh, it says it up top. It's literally
by
the.
either
Hey, I was in that documentary.
my attorney
I was, y'all. Go check it out. I got an IMDb and everything now.
or Christy.
How dare you?
Mm-hmm.
My two attorneys are telling me that my,
Actually, I already had one because I was on paranormal caught on camera like 5 or 6 times now.
my mother has
Mark, send it to me. Tag me in it. Send it to me. All them things.
something called Munchausen by proxy, and she was using me for money and abusing me medically, and then to tell me all of the lies and manipulation on top of it. So I felt, did I ever know her at all?
Gypsy's mom was abusing her physically, medically, giving her medication she didn't need, having her go through procedures that she didn't need, to the point where most of Gypsy's teeth are not even hers because of the medication that her mom was giving her that she had no condition for.
Oh, hell.
The day that her mom died.
Great day. That's the whole point of a reaction channel. You're supposed to like the talking in the commentary. I can't just re-upload other people's stuff without saying anything. That's illegal. I got to be able to talk and express my thoughts and feelings and opinions. I can't just do stuff like that. It's crazy.
Dee Dee was in the house somewhere.
Is that what you're telling me y'all want? You want me to just stop talking? Here, I'll disappear. I'm gonna take myself.
And Dee Dee was starving her. Like Dee Dee wasn't giving her anything to eat. I asked her sister, I was like, I hate to ask this, but you think Dee Dee had anything to do with her
Hell no, that's boring as hell.
mom's death? And she, said, no.
Y'all like, come back, no, come back, no.
I wonder.
Hey, dude.
Damn, that's Dee Dee right there? Holy hell.
My name is Dee. We're about to leave to go out. Me and Suzette, we're gonna go do some tricks.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard's moral and legal defense to justify her role as the mastermind of her mother's murder is based on her testimony that her mother tortured, abused, and isolated her for decades because of a rare psychiatric condition called Munchausen by proxy. Despite the fact that Dee Dee was never diagnosed, and frankly, she does not meet the diagnostic criteria for this condition. Factitious disorder, formerly referred to as Munchausen syndrome, is categorized by the intentional falsification of physical and/or mental signs and symptoms in oneself or in another individual for no obvious external gain or reward. The diagnosis for an individual falsifying illness of another person, like in this case, is factitious disorder imposed on another. People with factitious disorders intentionally produce or exaggerate symptoms, but can't control their behavior. The primary motive is to assume the sick role, not for personal gain, but due to a psychological need to be perceived as ill or injured. The DSM-5 uses this criteria to diagnose factitious disorder imposed on another. I will say, in the case of Dee Dee Blanchard, she undoubtedly meets the first two criteria in that she, according to the evidence of record, falsified psychological and physical symptoms, as well as two diseases, muscular dystrophy and leukemia, which Gypsy never had or received treatment for. She also presented Gypsy,
Lord have mercy,
as ill, impaired, and injured by shaving her head, making her use the wheelchair, and presenting her as childlike and mentally disabled. However, the analysis fails when it comes to the third and fourth points, that the deceptive behavior is evident even in the absence of obvious external rewards, and that the behavior is not better explained by another mental disorder. While I believe that Dee Dee did enjoy the attention of having an ill child, it's clear to me that the primary motivation was for personal gain. This is supported by Gypsy's testimony at Nick Godejohn's trial.
Did you and your mother obtain any kind of advantage by you being in a wheelchair?
Yes, sir.
What kind of advantage did you obtain?
Financial, attention, charity.
Financially?
Oh, hell.
Money.
Yes, sir.
Did you obtain money as a result of you being in a wheelchair?
Yes, sir.
I asked you why you attained an advantage for being in a wheelchair. You said people gave you money. And I think my next question is, why did they give you money?
Because they felt sorry for me. They believed the lie. They believed the fraud.
Well, there you have it, folks. This is not a case of MBP or factitious disorder imposed on another. Recall that people with factitious disorder feign illness or injury not to achieve a clear benefit, such as financial gain, but rather to assume the sick role to gain sympathy and special attention, often given to people who are truly ill. On the other hand, malingering is characterized by the intentional falsification of symptoms with a clear objective in mind, like personal or financial gain. Unlike FD, malingering isn't considered a mental health condition because the malingerer has control over their actions and is driven by external incentives.
Oh, I see what she's saying. She's saying that it wasn't a mental thing that was like they just had to do it because it was mentally there. They're saying they only did it for financial gain. I see what she's saying. It makes sense. Is it true? Y'all let me know what you think.
While both involve the fabrication of symptoms.
Oh, and TikTok, by the way, hit the follow button if you're new here. See some new faces coming in. My name's Patrick. You like true crime? Sweet. We're live every night. Just about every night. Tap the screen like crazy too, y'all. Let's get 25,000 likes. Thanks for the little bears. Hit me with some bear action, y'all. YouTube, welcome in. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the little like button so we get some new people in here. Love you guys. Jennifer, thank you. Let's keep going.
The key difference between factitious disorder and malingering lies in the motivation behind these actions. In fact, the DSM-5 specifically states that the diagnosis of factitious disorder requires the absence of obvious rewards. So while yes, Dee Dee did present with pretty much all the symptoms of Munchausen by proxy
That's a crazy looking picture right there.
On its surface,
she looks like 11 from Stranger Things.
The difference lies in the motivation.
Financial, attention,
Stella, thank you,
charity.
Renee. Thank you.
And while malingering is not a mental health condition, it can be associated with certain psychiatric disorders such as antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, dissociative disorders, and substance use disorders.
Oh, hell.
Deceitfulness, lack of remorse, reckless disregard for safety of self and others.
That picture is crazy as hell, too. That is crazy as hell.
Repeated failure to sustain constant work are common features of FD and antisocial personality disorder. As such, the diagnostic criteria here is not met. This is simply not a case of factitious disorder or Munchausen by proxy, according to the DSM-5. Despite this, Dee Dee Blanchard basically became the symbol for Munchausen by proxy.
To this day, Gypsy maintains she was forced to play the part. She also says it's why she worked with Nicholas Godejohn, her then boyfriend, to kill Dee Dee back in...
That is crazy, because that looks nothing like that guy right there. They just try to get him at the worst angle they could.
June of 2015.
So I disagree with that.
But that abuse has nothing to do with Dee Dee's murder, according to prosecutor Dan Patterson.
Oh, hell. Spiritual Diamond, thank you, Mariah, thank you.
Who just a little less than a month from Nicholas Godejohn's first day on trial, argued the character of Dee Dee Blanchard should be withheld from the jury. He says even if Gypsy's mother was abusive, her aggression wasn't being shown at the time of her stabbing, and her character played no role in that night's violence.
Whoa.
It's interesting that the prosecutor would argue that Dee Dee's character and the alleged abuse played no role in that night's violence.
Entertainment and educational purposes only, TikTok overlords. I know TikTok looks for any reason to hate on creators. TikTok overlords, I know, it sucks. Y'all are crazy as hell, but this is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Then turn around and use those same circumstances.
They get crazy as hell, y'all. Which TikTok, that means if you want to come watch the video, like see the video that we're watching and everything, come over to YouTube, search The Mystery Project, find the channel, subscribe. Subscribe. Yo, we hit 17,872 subscribers on YouTube. Very close. About 128 away from 18,000, which is crazy as hell. You guys are the best. All right, let's keep going.
As
YouTube, 35 more likes. We're at 100. Go. Hit the thumbs up.
Mitigating factors in charging Gypsy Blanchard with second-degree murder instead of first-degree, like her co-defendant.
Oh, hell.
Gypsy Blanchard endured nearly 2 decades of systematic, purposeful abuse at the hands of her mother for the purpose of fraud. And so by amending to murder in the second degree, we were able to both hold Gypsy Blanchard accountable for the murder, which was not justified nor excusable, but yet account for those mitigating circumstances.
Those mitigating circumstances, if they are to be heard, are relevant at sentencing, not when deciding to charge with first or second degree murder.
Oh, hell yeah. That makes a little bit of sense right there. Y'all tell me. Spiritual Diamond, thank you.
When the evidence is overwhelming and by the prosecution's own admission, they could have secured a first degree murder conviction for Gypsy. The same abuse that the prosecution says was not relevant to Dee Dee's murder at Nick's trial is the reason that Gypsy was offered a sweetheart plea deal, amending the charge to second degree.
Oh my God.
And getting the lower half of the 10 to 30 year sentence for that charge.
All of us involved are, it's relief. You know, at the very beginning of this, there was the question of the death penalty on the table. Ultimately, it's the best outcome for her. It's the best outcome for the state of Missouri, and ultimately the right thing to do for everybody.
Gypsy, her family, and her legal team successfully perpetuated this narrative through countless documentaries, TV programs, and interviews, gaining public support by way of sympathy for the sickly and childlike Gypsy Rose, who in reality was a 23-year-old woman who not only acted as a willing accomplice in her mother's fraud scheme, but meticulously masterminded the infamous murder and set up her co-defendant to take the fall for her evil deeds.
Who initially brought up killing your mother?
I did.
Oh, hell.
What alternatives had you considered?
Poison, arson, a gun.
Damn, that is crazy as hell.
It was too hard to find an odorless, tasteless poison.
Damn, that is crazy.
Why did you kill your mother?
I didn't believe I could do it.
Could you explain what you mean by that?
I don't like blood. I don't like the sight of blood. Frankly, I'm too squeamish. So I just honestly didn't believe I could do it on my own.
You what?
I supplied the knife.
Where did you get it?
I stole it from Walmart.
Where did you
Oh, hell.
get the gloves?
I supplied them.
Who paid for that trip?
I did.
Why did you pay for that trip?
Again, I didn't think he had enough money.
And how did you get money to him
Didn't he have, like, no money?
to come down on that trip?
I stole money from my mother, and I sent it to him via the mail.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? That is crazy as hell. Your mom's like, man, I had $20 in my purse. Where is it? Oh, I took it and mailed it to the dude who's going to come here and help me. Man, that is crazy as hell.
When to do this crime? The timelines that morning.
Jamie, yes, take a drink every time I say hell, because I'm going to say crazy as hell a lot. Hell, 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 hell.
I told him.
Who planned this murder?
I did.
Who talked you into killing your mother?
I did. I talked him into it.
You know, I don't want to have to remind people every single time that I'm not the one that committed the act of the kill. So, you know.
Oh, Lord.
I'm a part of it.
Right.
But in this.
That's terrifying. That's even more terrifying. Oh, my God. I didn't actually do it, but I'm a part of it. I masterminded it. What? Man.
State of Missouri, there's no such thing as accessory to murder.
Schmur.
So technically,
they couldn't charge you.
They couldn't charge me with accessory because that charge doesn't exist. So, I mean, had I been in another state, I would have been charged with accessory to commit murder.
Oh, that makes sense.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who the hell is that? The podcast is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. They just did that law doesn't exist there, so you're free to walk about the country. Oh, I get it. Oh, that makes so much. What? Oh my God! I'd be like, nope. Interview's over. Holy hell! You tell me the only reason I'm serving life is because the state didn't have that charge for you? Oh hell! What? Man, you crazy as hell for that. They do have a lot of space between them, though. That lady's sitting 3 rooms over.
This narrative served to vilify the real victim and alibi Gypsy for her part in not only the murder, but also the
oh man, that's a crazy looking picture too.
Financial fraud scheme.
I think to some degree I knew it was a facade. However, I didn't know the malicious intent behind the facade.
The hell are you talking about? I made a plan to my mom, but I didn't realize the malicious intent of making a plan to my mom. That sounds crazy as hell. Am I what? Yo, thumbs up if that just sounds crazy as hell. Put a thumbs up in the chat. TikTok, give me a follow if you're new here too. I see a bunch of new faces. I see a whole bunch of pretty new faces. Hey, y'all. YouTube, same thing. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Tap the little thumbs up. We got 18 to go. We're at 100. Come on, y'all.
The Blanchards began working with HBO on Mommy, Dead and Dearest before Gypsy's
oh hell
plea deal in July of 2016.
Hey, Gypsy looks crazy as hell. Oh, that's not Gypsy. Who's that? Man, I don't know who any of these people.
The documentary debuted in May of 2017, after her plea agreement, but before Nick's trial in November 2018. It is my and many others' belief that this sensationalized piece precluded Nick's ability to have a fair trial, with the public and the prosecution pretty much concluding that.
Oh, Lord. Soul Search in the house. Good to see you. Why is she standing like that? I don't know. I don't even know why I picked that one either. It's crazy as hell.
That he was the main player in this whole thing. So when it comes to the character of the victim and unsubstantiated abuse allegations raised by the perpetrator, facts seem to only matter when they favor the narrative that serves Gypsy and reassigns responsibility to both her victim and her co-defendant.
Oh, hell.
Nonetheless, these claims of abuse were never properly investigated, challenged, or adjudicated. Dee Dee Blanchard was never charged with child abuse or any maltreatment towards Gypsy. She was publicly defamed and demonized without proof.
Oh, hell.
As the prosecutor argued in Nick's pretrial hearing, even if Dee Dee was abusing Gypsy, that doesn't change the circumstances, that this was cold, calculated murder.
Lisa, do you have a brother that does paintings on TikTok? No. Nope. But I moonlight as a dude that does paintings on TikTok. How'd you find that channel?
How dare you?
Just kidding. No, I have no idea. Probably just somebody looks like me. Claudia, you crazy as hell.
In the first degree under Missouri law. Plenty of defendants can point to unfortunate or unfair circumstances in their upbringing. It doesn't change the facts of the crime. Even so, it's...
Oh, hell. Yeah, I got another on another site. I just sit there and paint myself.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. I made it up. It's facetious. I'm making it up. I made it up for attention. Desiree, thank you. Y'all, let's hit that bear thing.
It's worth asking the question, was Gypsy ever actually medically abused or even treated poorly by Dee Dee? Now, most people who watch the documentaries would argue that of course she was abused, pointing to the long list of medications, procedures, and even coercing her child to lie in order to keep up the con. They would argue that the medicine closet, the surgeries, the feeding tube, the bizarre mother-daughter dynamic is enough to declare Gypsy as an abuse victim. And I won't deny that Gypsy was certainly groomed to lie, cheat, and steal by her mother.
That's a Tool song. Lie, cheat, and steal. Miss Anakin, thank you for the $5 super chat. I watched for the... Oh, hell. Oh, hell. This is crazy. Thank you. So sweet. So who is that? Who is on the screen right now? That looks like somebody that was like rejected from a Beatles cover band. Oh, Lord. Y'all, thanks for hitting that goal too. Damn. Let's keep going.
Who was by no means a perfect angel. I speculate that Gypsy was predisposed to antisocial behavior, both by way of genetics and her inappropriate upbringing. But here's where the work of a woman that goes by the name of Fancy Maselli becomes critical in the analysis of this case.
Who the hell is that?
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network.
Hey guys.
The what?
It's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network.
The who?
Guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network.
The what?
Fancy and...
Howdy, ma'am. Who did that? Mammy, thank you. Thanks for the follows too. Thank you.
Her team at the Good Wives Network were provided Gypsy's medical records by the family in a deal whereby
I just did a video about this.
Fancy was to produce a documentary telling Gypsy's story many years ago. However, the project fell through when, after years of reviewing the records and researching the facts, Fancy and her team made a discovery within the records that cracks the case wide open, exonerating Dee Dee's character and exposing what appears to be the true motive for the crime. By reviewing the medical records, Fancy would learn that Gypsy was born with a rare chromosome disorder. Chromosome 1q to 1.1 microdeletion syndrome, a rare chromosome abnormality that develops when there's missing genetic material on chromosome 1. The effect of this genetic variation ranges from being barely perceptible to being obvious and severe. Phenotypes of a 1q to 1.1 microdeletion are neurological psychiatric problems, microcephaly or small head, epilepsy, facial dimorphism, loose joints, low muscle tone, cataracts, and other eye problems. Again, this diagnosis is found within the medical records and even corroborated by Rod Blanchard, Gypsy's father.
Dee Dee told me she would need a wheelchair. You know,
dear Lord, Rod looked young as hell right there. What?
She's got
loose joints, low muscle.
That dude what?
Tone,
he looked like a little brother, not dad.
Cataracts and other eye problems. Again, this diagnosis
I rewound a little bit because I want to see it.
Is found within the medical records and even corroborated by Rod Blanchard, Gypsy's father.
So Gypsy's 10 in that picture. How old is her dad right there? That dude the dad looks like he's about 18 years old.
Dee Dee told me she would need a wheelchair. You know, and I asked her, I said, man, she's got a lot of issues. What's going on, you know? And
he looks young as hell right there too.
They had done some tests and found out she had a chromosome disorder that was causing all of her functions from developing, her digestive system and her muscular system.
Oh no, they didn't. They said they pointed out prominent forehead. Y'all, if you want to see what we're talking about, I'm your weakness. So if you come over to YouTube, you can actually see the videos. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Just search the Mystery Project. Come subscribe to the channel. We got 232 people watching on YouTube. Shout out to y'all. Hit that little thumbs up button for me real quick. Subscribe if you're new. But hit the follow button if you're on TikTok and you're new. Let's keep going, y'all. Shall we? My God, picture is terrifying.
I nicknamed her Possum because she looked like a little possum. Little bitty possum eyes.
Dee Dee started telling me that she's got some problems with her eyes, seizures,
her digestive system. After that, Gypsy couldn't walk anymore. She had a muscular disorder.
Dee Dee started telling me they're running tests, they're trying to find out what's going on with her. She's got a lot of issues.
In 2000, they ruled out muscular dystrophy because they were doing testing to try to find out the chromosome disorder that they knew she had when she was born. They knew she had one, and muscular dystrophy is one that would have explained some of her problems. But in 2000, they ruled that out when they did the muscle biopsy and the nerve conduction.
She does have eye problems. She did have ear problems. She did have feeding tube problems, feeding problems, failure to thrive.
Oh, hell.
She was diagnosed with a muscular problem. They didn't figure it out until 2011 when they ran a very specialized genetic testing to try and figure out what all these erroneous little things that she had, because they didn't really fit into any one major thing. In September, I believe, of 2011, they returned for a follow-up visit, and that is when the chromo disorder is proven, and they also state that Dee Dee does not carry it, and Rod could not be tested.
And she does have this microdeletion, and it explains her entire medical history, both the physical medical history and her mental health medical history. It's all explained inside of this chromosome disorder. This microdeletion, it explains her eye problems, her ear problems, her teeth problems. It explains the weak muscle tone she has. It explains all the different things. It explains why the feeding tube was placed. It explains why there was a muscle biopsy done to rule out muscular dystrophy. And it 100% proves that muscular dystrophy and cancer, later in 2007, cancer hit the scene, was used for financial gain. That's it. That's the whole case. Financial gain. Medical fraud for financial gain.
Dee Dee and Gypsy were malingering when it comes to cancer and muscular dystrophy, but that doesn't mean that Gypsy did not have very real medical challenges that Dee Dee did her best to diagnose and treat for. And thanks to Fancy, we know that these conditions stem from her congenital chromosome disorder.
The only thing that I have wrong with me is I have a little bit of a lazy eye. Not all the time, but I have better vision in this eye than I do that eye. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. And I'm completely healthy. Like, I have no health problems whatsoever.
So the fact that they're denying this chromosome disorder is very interesting, because what does it do?
It blows their lives apart.
Oh, hell.
That's what it does. And that's why they don't want you to know about it.
Christy, that little girl up there, that grown-ass woman up there, used all this nonsense to cover up a murder, to villainize the victim, to ensure that her co-conspirator would go down for it all, and she'd come out of prison doing a quick little stint of 8 years and be a millionaire, all for unaliving her mom.
Oh, hell.
For that fire, D. Because it sure as shit was not about Munchausen by proxy or medical child abuse. Honey, you can spin this any way you want.
Damn, what do y'all think about all this?
It is very evident that you do, in fact, have a 2.74 MB microdeletion of chromosome 1Q to 1.1. And no, love, you do not fall into the 75% of people that have no symptoms. It's very clear that you have symptoms.
Oh, hell.
Dee Dee had a lot of trouble asking for help, but they were actually given quite a bit of stuff, like trips to Disney World, Disneyland. They got the Habitat for Humanity house and the furniture in it and all that.
Thank you.
And here's the key to the car that was donated.
Oh, hell, they got a car?
It was very important to Dee Dee for Gypsy to have a very fulfilled life before she passed.
Dee Dee Blanchard was not without her flaws. According to surviving family members, she had a history of cashing bad checks and stealing money from family.
Oh, Lord. Harley Quinn, if you come over to YouTube, you can actually see the videos that we're watching. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button, y'all. Subscribe if you're new. TikTok, hit the follow button. Hit me with the little, what are we trying to, oh, the cowboy hats. Y'all, cowboy hat me up. Let's go.
She deceived good people and stole from children in need. It was wrong to fabricate fatal illnesses in her daughter, and many people were truly devastated when they realized they had been duped by the conning duo.
Oh, hell.
Dee Dee Blanchard was a con woman, but she wasn't a child abuser. It's clear that her life revolved around Gypsy and making sure she wanted for nothing. It must have been difficult for Dee Dee as a single mother with a medically complex child. Many folks who knew the pair had only glowing things to say about Dee Dee, specifically speaking to her positivity, generosity, and unmatched dedication to her daughter. This case is unique because I can't think of another case where we take the narrative of the perpetrator as fact without evidence and even considering the victim's perspective. Gypsy masterfully reversed the victim-offender roles in the public eye and continues to cash in on her notoriety that was built entirely on lies. But as Gypsy's public behavior continues to draw attention, more folks are digging into the crime and uncovering truths that paint the whole
Oh, we watched that channel too. Becca Scoops.
Tragedy from a completely different perspective.
Y'all send me all these channels. Thank you. Oh, and Flawless Nina.
Saying she doesn't identify as a murderer, knowing she used this man that is autistic with a low IQ and other mental health issues
Oh, hell.
to unalive her mom because she wanted to get some DICK. And it just seems so convenient. And to villainize her and him. Yeah. So all she does is every person in her life, she villainizes them. Yeah. Yeah. And manipulates the people around after she villainizes these people. Mm-hmm. And then she discards you. This is her game. Mm-hmm. She discards you when she can't use you anymore. This is her game. And to know that she had her mom unalived for her own selfish reasons when this woman was never abusing her is wow, mind blowing. Yeah, it's like
who's that with, Nina?
All I could say is rest in peace, Dee Dee, because it truly is a sad situation.
To quote Greene County Sheriff Jim Arnott, things are not always as they appear.